Radhe Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Sri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuma Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the grace, the blessings, the mercy, the sidelong glances of our beloved Gurudev and our Guru Varga. You can find it on page 1 of this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, starting with page 1. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. You need a bag. Oh, okay. Maybe you need something soft. It's all hard. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavakshta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tang Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanati Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvam Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjagata Ekahriddhi Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nittinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Presthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Ittinamine Ati Martya Charitrayo Sashritananchapaline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupa Ruga Pirudhapa Siddhanta Tvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodayo Satchirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya रूपानुगव्वरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्दिष्टः स जनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयतां सुरतोपङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्टालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भि वंशीवत ततस्ततः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथः श्रियेस्तु नः। वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। राधे राधे। शशिकला देवीदासी, Rag Pandit Sudevi Devidasi, Ram Narasimha, and all the rest of you. Interesting, just a couple of minutes ago before I looked down, I remembered Raga Pandit Prabhu. So, and then you popped up, or maybe you popped up first, but I didn't see it until just now. And Paramati, Hare Krishna. So we will start with calling out for the mercy of Sri Gurudev. Gurudev Kripa Bindudiya by Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur, page, I believe, 32 in this Sri Gaudiya Giti Mucha. Yes. Kartal on the altar behind. गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु दिया करो ये दास कृष्णपेक्षायति सकल सहारे बल दिया करो निज माने स्पृहहीन कृपा बिंदु दिया सकले समा करिते शकति देहनाथ যথা যথ तबे तो गाहिब हरिनाम सुखे अपराध हवे हाथ गुरुदेव कृपा बिंदु কৃতার্থ হইবে নাথ, শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দীন, করো মোরে আত্মসাৎ গুরুদেব, কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে, তৃণাপেক্ষায় যোগ্যতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায়, তোমার করুণা সার, করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া প্রাণ না রাখিব আরো, গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসী, তৃণাপেক্ষায় দীন, গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসী, তৃণাপেক্ষায় দীন। গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব, গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব, জয় গুরুদেব, গুরুদেব, গুরুদেব জয় গুরুদেব, জয় প্রভুপাদ, জয় প্রভুপাদ, প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ, জয় প্রভুপাদ, প্রভুপাদ জয় প্রভুপাদ, জয় প্রভুপাদ। जय श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय। Now we will call for the mercy of Vaishnavas. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, Doyar Sagar, Edase Kurunakuri by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, page 39. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, Doyar Sagar, Edase Kurunakuri, ছায়া শোধো হে আমারে, তোমার চরণ ধরি। ওহে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর, দয়ার সাগর, হে দাস করুণা दासे करुणा कोरी वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव ठाकुर प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो प्रभु कृपा करो मोरे दया करो all Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. And now we will call for the mercy of our 6 Goswamis. Today happens to be the anniversary of the appearance of Sri Radharaman, but really he came about by the mercy of Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama, mostly glorifying our 6 Goswamis by Sri Narottam Das Thakur. Page 148. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madan Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gupta Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhattara Guna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raguna He Jai Goshair Gori Charanamadan Jaha Vaite Vignanasha Abhishta Puran He Jai Goshai Jar Bhuvitara Das Dasavar Bhattari Mumora Panchagras Atandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas Janname Janame Hoy Abhilash Echai Goshai Jame Praje Koilavas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakam Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Manjayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Kori Ash Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das Hari Bol Shri Shat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami Pada Ki Jai. I'm doing everything jaldi kyunki 5 in 1, no? So Vita go. And the switch is there. Power is there. Vita go. Krishna. Gauranga Balite Have, Pulaka Sharir, page 86 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. And all Vaishnavas who are joining us, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Krishna शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते न ज्ञाने पावे नीरा
गौरांग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते नयने पावे नीरा
आर कवे निता छादे करुणा होइबे संसारो वासना मोर कवे तुच्छ हवे
कविताय चांदे करुणा हईबे संसार वासना मोर कवि तुच्छ
विषय छारिया कवे शुद्ध हवे मन कवे हम हेरा श्री वृंदावन
विषय छरिया कवे शुद्ध हवे मन कवि हम हेरो श्री वृंदावन
रूपर नाथ भले हरिबे अभूति कवे हम बुझबो से जुगल
रघुनाथ परे हरिबे आकृति कवे हम पूजब से जुगल
रघुनाथ बले रहु मोर आशा रघुना मोरे सदा नरोत्तम दास
रघुनाथ परे प्रभु मोर आशा प्रार्थना करो रे सदा नरोत्तम
राम बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते नयने पावे
गौरांग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते नयने पावे
आए हे गौर हे आए हे गौर हे नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की Today is the appearance day of Radharama. Hari He Doyal Moor Jai Radhana. Radharama is in there, no? Yes, Te Radharama.
हरि हे दयाल मोरो जय राधानाथ बार बार मारो लह निज साथ
145. हरि हे दयाल मोर जय राधानाथ बार बार लोहनी
बहु जोनि भ्रमे नाथ नयन शरण निज गुणे कृपा कर अधम
बहु जोनि प्रवीणा लोइनु
जय जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद जय जय श्री राधे गोविंद।
जय जय राधे कृष्ण।
जय जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद जय जय श्री राधे कृष्ण गोविंद।
जय जय राधे गोविंद जय जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद।
जय जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद जय जय श्री राधे कृष्ण गोविंद।
जय जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद जय जय
राधे कृष्ण गोविंद।
जय राधे कृष्ण गोविंद जय जय श्री राधे कृष्ण गोविंद।
जय जय रासेश्वरी विनोदिनी भानुकुल चंद्र।
जय राशेश्वरी विनोदिनी जय कृष्ण
ओ जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण
जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण श्री वृषभानंदनी श्रीमती राधा तकुरानी की जय श्री गोपीनाथ जी की जय श्री राधा रमन जी की जय 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 राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय राधा रमण रूपानुग गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय राधा विनु बिहारी राधा गोपीनाथ जी की जय गिरिराज महाराज की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय श्री माधवेंद्रपुरी पाद की जय तदीय आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय श्री श्रीनिवास आचार्य की जय तदीय आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय श्री परमेश्वरी ठाकुर की जय तदीय तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की जय श्री राधा रमण जू की जय गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
नौका विहार महोत्सव की जय
Huh?
नौका विहार उत्सव
Oh yes.
पूरी
And the boat festival ki jay. And also a flower festival. No,
बोट फेस्टिवल
boat and flowers.
बोथ
But I thought that started on Akshay Tritiya.
हाँ
I thought it started on Akshay Tritiya. This Shalila Vihar and the full Mahotsav starts today. Okay.
from Akshay Tritiya they start building there.
गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्री श्रीमार्भक्तिवेदान्तनारायणनित्यनामिने नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यनामिने वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्. First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya-lila Pravishna Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya-lila Pravishna Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and especially on this day, the day of so many prominent personalities, I offer my Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Parameshwari Thakur, whose disappearance anniversary we are observing today, Sri Srinivas Acharya, whose appearance anniversary we are observing today, Sri Madhavendra Puripad, whose appearance anniversary we are observing today, and of course, in the dust of the lotus feet of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, by whose grace Shri Krishna himself transferred, manifested from the form of a Shila into the most beautiful form, Shri Radha Raman. So I offer my Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and also at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Raman. Shri Radha Ramanaju ki jai. And to all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, past, present, and future, including all who are present here physically and all who are present online, I offer my pranam. Hare Krishna. So we have 35 minutes and we have massive subject matter. In other words, many different personalities to discuss in a very short amount of time. I would like to begin by stating that yesterday we observed Sri Narasingha Chaturdashi. And on that day, we were in New Braj, Badger, with our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. He started with, so today is the appearance. What happened? Today is the appearance day of Prahlad Maharaj. And the devotees were like, no, it's the appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. He's like, yes, I know. Today is the appearance of Prahlad Maharaj. And he said, if you see the pastimes, the entire section of Narasimhadev in his pastimes or Leela with Prahlad, you will see that actually most of it, 95% of it, is the glories of Prahlad Maharaj. And only at the very end, Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan manifests. He said, but without this manifestation, we might not read about it. But for us, actually, it is also the appearance of Prahlad. And so in the same way, before speaking about Radharaman, we will speak about the Vaishnavas. Only by the mercy and grace of the Vaishnavas can Krishna be revealed. As Prahlad Maharaj told, we heard yesterday, Naishavatishtavad Urukramangri. He says, Mahiyashan Padar Jobhishekam. Unless one smears themselves in the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees, one can never awaken this inclination to serve Krishna. And so by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, this is our hope, this is our everything. This point right there, that essential point, by taking shelter of the Vaishnavas, we can understand what it is like to love Krishna, how to serve Krishna. Otherwise, we don't know anything. But by seeing their nature, their character, their qualities, then we can begin to aspire to become like them. As we pray to Sri Gurudev, O Gurudev, Guru More Atmasat. It means make my Atma like yours, but Srila Gurudev said actually it means make me yours. In other words, I'm submitting myself to you. But what does Gurudev do with us? He doesn't take us for himself. He only makes us qualified and offers us to the lotus feet of his Guru, who offers us to the lotus feet of his Guru, and so forth. It goes to Sri Rupa, Lalita Saki, then to Radha, then to Krishna. So first we will speak about the Vaishnavas. And I was thinking, in which way should I speak about Vaishnavas? Because all are glorifiable in their own right. And yet we do have a progression of rasas. And so I would say first we will speak about Sri Parameshwari Thakur. Because his rasa is Sakya Ras. And then we are going to Madhurya Ras. And so from rasa there is some interesting perspective. But Parameshwari Thakur is no ordinary personality. It is said in Sri Bhakti Ratnakar that he is non-different from Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And in Krishna Lila, he is the Sakha, the cowherd boy known as Arjun. Therefore, he is an eternal associate of Krishna, an associate of Baladev Prabhu, and an associate of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Not much has been told about him, except that he was always present with Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Wherever Nityananda Prabhu went, he went with him. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Nityananda Prabhu from Puri to Bengal to do prachar, Parameshwari Thakur was one of his primary associates, considered like non-different from the body of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, so near and dear and so close. And even after the disappearance of Sri Nityananda Prabhu from this world, Parameshwari Thakur was also present as an associate of the Shakti of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Janava Thakurani, at the festival in Keturi. So he was always absorbed in this Sakya Ras. And it is told in Shastra by those who are knowers and seers of the truth that also he was given a deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And because of his mood of love and affection for Sachinandan Gaurahari, he was weeping and crying in desperate separation from him. It is said also that he didn't follow the normal way of even most of the sadhus that we see. In the case that most do not perform magic tricks publicly. But there were some envious and jealous persons who did not like that kirtan was going on through the night. And so they decided that they were going to pollute the atmosphere by throwing a dead animal in the midst of the Sankirtan party. So they took a dead jackal and they threw it in the center of the Kirtan party, thinking that it would create disturbance, everyone would be polluted, everyone would leave that place. But Parameshwari Thakur, he said, Hari Bol, and that dead jackal came back to life and began howling. It is said singing in the kirtan. Maybe you've seen just down the road from here, there's a place where they're doing puja next to Yamuna, halfway between here and Keshi Ghat. You know that orange place? At 7 o'clock, 7:30 every evening, they're doing arti there. And about 7 or 10 dogs come and they face the mandir and they all start going, oh, like this, all at the same time. So Parameshwari Thakur, he awakened this jackal, Hari Bol, and this jackal began to sing in kirtan. So this is the kind of speciality that the associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu have, being not different from him. He also performs so many amazing pastimes, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, that we cannot register as a normal activity. He is avadut. And so Parameshwari Thakur also manifested some avadut natures from time to time, but he is so near and dear to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So on this day, the anniversary of his disappearance, we offer our pranam in the dust of his lotus feet. It is told that without his mercy, we cannot attain the shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So we're praying in the dust of his lotus feet that may you be merciful to us and allow us entrance into the realm of the shelter of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Only by Nityananda Prabhu's mercy can one attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and only by his mercy can one attain the shelter of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So Parameshwari Thakur is always holding on to the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and we're also praying for that great gift, Rakho Ranga Charanera Pash. Please allow me to always hold to my heart the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Sri Parameshwari Thakur ki Jai. Today is also the anniversary of the appearance of Sri Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya is a very powerful, important personality within our Gaudiya lineage. Without his presence, all of the seva of all of the temples that are here in Vrindavan, the 7 main temples, and also the ones in Rajasthan, in Jaipur, and also in Karoli, that seva would not go on, because it is by his mercy that all of those personalities who were engaged in serving the Thakurjis were engaged, and their family lineages were engaged. So even if you go to Govindaji temple in Jaipur, they give reference to Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya has written this Sri Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Krishnot Kirtanagana Nartanaparo Premamritam Bonithe Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priyakaro Niramatsaro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvimuho Bhara Vahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Ruduyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So he has written this. This means that he has seen and witnessed the nature of our 6 Goswamis by their own example, how they were always absorbed Radha Krishna Gunasmriter Madhurimanandena Sammohito, always absorbed in remembering the sweet pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but at the same time extremely renounced from everything externally in this material world. It's quite amazing. He's writing in the same verse, Gopina Kanta Ashrito, Gopi Bhavara Samrita Dilahari. They only are wearing kopins. It means they're wearing underwear. That's all they have. And yet, they're absorbed in Gopi Bhav. So Sri Srinivas Acharya has witnessed this and given this great gift to the world in the form of Sri Shad Goswami Ashtakam, showing us how our 6 Goswamis were performing their bhajan day and night, how they were residing under a different tree every night, not because they were homeless. They were some of the wealthiest persons that we could consider in this world, and yet they gave up everything, and they were crying at the base of every tree. As we say, Vancha Kalpataru Yascha, we're comparing Vaishnavas to desire trees. they're seeing that all of these trees are desire trees. But what desire do they have? No material desire. Srila Gurudev told that now, currently, the trees and the birds are witnessing Radha and Krishna's pastimes as they are taking place here now. So we walk past, we're like, oh, there's a bird, get out of the way. Or we see any tree, people rip the leaves, break the branches. Srila Gurudev said, don't disturb them. They're doing immense austerities. And they're witnessing the pastimes of Krishna. He said, don't rip the leaves, don't break the branches. But our 6 Goswamis were going to a different tree every night, praying, please, what pastimes you have witnessed, manifest those within my heart. And Srila Prabhupada said our 6 Goswamis are not running around saying, I have seen this, I have seen that pastime, I have seen this. No. In great, desperate separation, they're crying, He Radhe Vrajadevike Chalalite, He Nan Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpapad Padale Kalindi Vanye Kuta, Goshantavati Sarvato Vrajpure, Kedair Mahavifvalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghu Yugo, Sri Jiva Gopalako. They're crying and begging, not saying, I have seen, but where are you? Oh Srimati Radhika, where are you? He Radhe Vrajadevike, Chalalite, oh Lalita Saki, where are you? Oh Krishna, where are you? Are you at Govardhan? Are you on the banks of Yamuna? Where are you? Srila Gurudev told again and again in many different ways that in this world there's no problem. No problem. There's only one problem. And that problem is simply this. Where is Krishna? So they always had this mood of crying and searching for Krishna in great, desperate separation. So Sri Srinivas Acharya has witnessed this and imbibed these moods, and he himself is the personification also of these moods of these 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. He himself endured immense separation. He was going to Jagannath Puri. Maybe I should start with his father. His father was a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So much so that his nickname was given to him, Chaitanya Das. And within his heart one day, he had this great impression. He himself had no material attachments. He was fully dedicated to serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. But anyhow, this mood came in his heart that we should have a son. And he was thinking, what is this? But it was very strong, like a message from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he told his wife, and she agreed, we should go to Puri and we should confirm with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is an important thing. If we have any spontaneous vision or inspiration, we should not just jump on it and follow through with what we think it is, but we should first confirm it with Guru. Very quickly, I'm going to share something. Many years ago, it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, Sudevi had a dream that Gurudev gave her Giriraj. And he was at Govardhan. All of our parampara up to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada or Bhakti Vinod Thakur were present. They were weeping and Gurudev was handing her Giriraj. So she woke up at 4 in the morning weeping and crying. Here, we were in Gopinath Bhavan, in Vrindavan at 4 o'clock in the morning. Gurudev is giving Giriraj and weeping. And so she told her friend Vishaka that, oh, I had this dream. Vishaka said, oh, that means Gurudev must be giving you Giriraj. We should go to Govardhan and take any Giriraj. And so immediately, Sudevi thought, no, maybe I should write Gurudev first. So she sent him a letter, and very quickly a letter came back. You are so fortunate to have had such a wonderful dream. Unfortunately, I have not had the same dream as you. Understand? Confirmation. He said, haven't I already given you Thakurji? You have so much. I have given you Harinam. Have you realized anything? You should worship Giriraj like I do, by heart. And he said, anyhow, I know you will do the right thing. So this is a very important instruction. that we might receive an internal inspiration. But as Badha Jivas, who also have the tendency to make mistakes and cheat ourselves and others, it is always essential to confirm with anyone who does not have those mistaken tendencies. And so in this case, Chaitanya Das went with his wife to Puri for confirmation. And when they were in front of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, immediately, all of your desires will be fulfilled. And then the devotees were wondering, what did Mahaprabhu say? Why did he say that? And so they asked his servant. His servant then asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he already knew, they did not have to ask anything, that a very great devotee will manifest through them who is not different from my own heart. That is Srinivas Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this. So Srinivas Acharya is no ordinary personality. He is a manifestation of the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not different from my own heart. And so from very young, he was learning, he was studying, but developing and awakening deep devotion for the Lord. So when he was on his way to Jagannath Puri, just before he arrived, the most dreadful news came to him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has departed from this world and from our vision. He was completely distraught, desolate. He felt, what is the use for my existence? I will not receive darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I will not receive any service to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the point of my existence? And he contemplated finishing his life. But anyhow, the Vaishnavas who were around him, they gave him some solace. And then he was able to meet with, it is told, the way it was told is the manifestation of the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord within Gaur Leela, Sri Gadadhar Pandit. And by taking shelter of an association of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, he received some solace to his heart, and yet he was constantly weeping in separation. So Srinivas Acharya, then after some time, because we've heard that Gadadhar Pandit was reading and lecturing, giving Harikatha based on Srimad Bhagavatam, but due to separation, all of those pages were wet and the ink was smeared. So Srinivas Acharya had left to go get another copy. And in that time, Sri Gadadhar Pandit also departed. He was not able to see him again. So again, Srinivas was feeling complete, desperate separation, overwhelming separation. And then he headed back toward Navadvip. On his way to Navadvip, he discovered that Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya had also departed from this world. Again, he was feeling, what is the use of my life? How can I maintain my life? I have no reason to maintain this existence. But the devotees gave him some solace. And then he was sent to Sri Vrindavan Dham. He wanted to meet with Rupa and Sanatan. On the way to Vrindavan, he heard that Rupa and Sanatan had also just departed. So this was completely devastating for him. Can you imagine? All of these personalities, one after the next after the next. Srinivas Acharya was living in a state of desperate separation. And again, he was feeling like this, what is the purpose of my existence? But then he came to Vrindavan and he met with Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, with Jiva Goswami, with Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, with Bhugarva Goswami, Lokanath Goswami. And by their association, he was given some solace. He took shelter of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who gave him initiation. And Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami shared with him all of the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We will speak a little bit more about Gopal Bhatta Goswami at the end. So Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami gave him shelter, but then he also placed him in the school of Sri Jiva Goswami. Srila Gurudev explained that in those days, the mood wasn't, oh, this is my disciple and I will keep them for myself. Everyone saw that this is an eternal servant of Krishna. And somehow or other, all together, we will help to nurture this person's progress to their perfection. And so they didn't have this selfish mood, they had this mood of assisting this jiva toward perfection. So he took shiksha from Srila Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami at the time was the leader of the Vishva Vaishnava Raja Sabha. So this was basically the universal association of saintly, kingly Vaishnavas, which means Jiva Goswami was in charge of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas of Vrindavan, of Navadip, and of Puridham. Without his stamp of approval, no one would be recognized. And so Srila Jiva Goswami gave his stamp of approval to Srinivas with the title Acharya. He gave the stamp of approval to Sri Narottam Das with the stamp Thakur Mahashay, and the stamp of approval to Shyamananda Prabhu. I think this name, this title was actually given to him by Shyamananda, was given to him by Srila Jiva Goswami. Because he made Shyama and Shyam very blissful and happy by his seva. So Jiva Goswami gave him that name, Shyam Ananda. Before he was known as Dukhi Krishna Das. And then he was given this title by Srila Jiva Goswami. So after some time, the Vaishnavas of Vrindavan had sent Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam. Srinivas Acharya was the senior among them. And so they were sent from Vrindavan with all of the books of the Goswamis. They were originals, one of a kind, written by hand. And the idea was that they would bring them to Bengal and they would be copied and then they would be disseminated more and more. So on the way there, they had a bullock cart with a big case full of books and some other things. And they came through one kingdom, the kingdom of Varavishnupur, that was run by a dacoit king named King Birhambir. And this king had an astrologer, and the astrologer told him, "Oh, very soon a great valuable treasure is coming through here. My astrology has seen that it is the most valuable treasure." So he became very excited. He told his followers that you should somehow or other acquire that treasure, but don't kill anybody. So it so happened that for traveling for a very long time, they became somewhat tired, Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam, and they fell asleep. Usually they had one person standing guard, but all of them fell asleep. When they woke up in the morning, their amazing treasure was gone. They were feeling that we have made great aparad to the Goswamis of Vrindavan. We have not followed their instruction. We were not responsible. And because of this, we should give up our lives. This kind of desperate feeling they had within their hearts. But then Srinivas Acharya said, "I will stay here and search for it here. Narottam, you should go to Keturi and Bengal, Bangladesh. And Shyamananda, you should go to Orissa." So Narottam Das Thakur went to Bangladesh, Bengal, and as far as Assam and Manipur, and converted thousands and thousands to Chaitanya Vaishnavism. And Shyamananda did the same in Orissa. Thousands and thousands of persons became Vaishnavas. And Srinivas Acharya stayed in that kingdom in Vanuvishnupur, and there he was searching. So it so happened one day there was a Brahmin who was giving Harikatha based on Srimad Bhagavatam. And the king was fond of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And this Brahmin had invited Srinivas that you should come. So Srinivas was there, and then as this Brahmin, our Gurudev said, was discussing Brahma Geet, he wasn't able to discuss it very well. He couldn't go deeply into the ras. But Srinivas Acharya then he asked, "Can I make some comment?" And he made some comment. Srila Gurudev said that King Birhambir, became so amazed and inspired by the Harikatha of Srinivas Acharya that he begged him to continue coming again and again, and he wanted to hear more from him. And eventually he fell at his feet and begged him for initiation. And as Dakshina, he said, "Is there anything I can do? Anything I can do for you?" And Srinivas Acharya said, "Well, actually, we were traveling here together in a group, and someone stole our valuable treasure of books." And the king said, "Oh, that was me." And so then the message went to Vrindavan, to everywhere, that we have again received these books. But Srinivas Acharya stayed there, and the king, all of his associates, that whole area became devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srinivas Acharya is very, very near and dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to all of our Acharyas. And by his mercy, well, the books of our Goswamis were rescued. So thank God for Srinivas Acharya. We're so fortunate that he stayed there and he was able to find the books of our Goswamis. So today is his appearance day, and we're praying in the dust of his lotus feet for his mercy, that we may be also able to serve and follow our Guru Dev and our Guru Varga as he is following. Today is Today is also the appearance day of Sri Madhavendra Puripad. Sri Madhavendra Puripad is one of the most famous personalities, I will say, growing up as a young child within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The history of Sri Madhavendra Puripad was perhaps my favorite. I'd love to hear the story again and again and again. And when we hear about Sri Madhavendra Puripad, we actually hear about him in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita from his grand disciple. In other words, his grand disciple was glorifying his own Param Gurudev with so much enthusiasm, the way any disciple would glorify their Param Gurudev. But this was Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself glorifying his Param Gurudev Sri Madhavendra Puripad, as he had heard the glories of his Param Gurudev from his own Guru Sri Ishwar Puripad. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was on his way to, I believe it was Puri, from Bengal, and he stopped on the way in the town known as Remuna, at the temple of Kir Chor Gopinath. And there Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to very, very blissfully speak the glories of his Param Gurudev, Sri Madhavendra Puripad. So he told the history of Kir Chor Gopinath. So I'll try to tell it quickly because Arti is coming and Radharaman also needs to be mentioned. So. Sri Madhavendra Puripad was a devotee of the Lord. He came in the lineage of Sri Madhvacharya, but before Madhavendra Puripad, only Krishna was worshipped alone within the line of Madhvacharya. Sri Madhavendra Puripad is said to be the root of Prem, the tree of Prem. Why? Because only from him did that mood of worshipping Radha and Krishna together sprout for the first time within the lineage of Sri Madhvacharya. And not only that, but he was serving within his mind and heart in a mood of deep, desperate separation. And I'm using this word desperate intentionally because sometimes we say separation and it's like, oh, I miss someone. But desperate separation gives a different feeling. It is uncontainable. And so Sri Madhavendra Puripad had that kind of mood of serving Radha and Krishna in desperate or deep separation, which was unheard of previously. So Sri Madhavendra Puripad had come to Govardhan, and there he took bath in Govindakund, and then he sat under a tree. Have you been to Govindakund, everyone? So he sat under a tree there at Govindakund, and he had this vow. He was a sannyasi, but his vow was that he would never beg for anything from anyone. Only if something came to him, he would accept that. And even then, he was very careful. He would only accept a little bit of milk. It is said that actually he didn't require any food because he was nourished simply by his remembrance of the name, form, glories, and pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. This was his nature. Srila Bhakti-Vigyam Bharati Maharaj explained that Sarvatma Snapanam in Sri Shikshashtakam. It means that all one's mind, body, heart, senses, and soul, everything is nourished. And he mentioned that those who were present at the time of Govardhan Leela, who were underneath the mountain as Krishna was holding Giriraj, Govardhan, they had no hunger, no thirst, no necessity for sleep, no necessity for toilet or anything. All of their necessities, everything was nourished simply by their unimpeded darshan of Krishna. In the same way, the sages at Naimisharanya, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights, did not need food, water, or anything else. They were completely nourished. And so Sri Madhavendra Puripad also had this kind of connectedness. He was fully nourished by his remembrance of the sweet pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So it was getting late in the afternoon. One young boy came as Madhavendra Puripad was chanting Harinam. And this boy came and said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? Where do you come from?" And Madhavendra Puripad looked, he opened his eyes and saw this beautiful young boy. And he was thinking, who is this? Where has he come from? He's so charming. And he said, "I brought some milk for you, because you have not taken anything. No one goes hungry in my village." Madhavendra Puri was thinking, how do you know that I have not taken anything? And he said, "Oh, the elderly ladies have seen that you have been sitting here for a long time and you didn't take anything, so I brought some milk for you. I have to go and tend to the cows. It's milking time, so you should drink your milk and I'll come back later for the pot." So Madhavendra Puripad was thinking, okay. But he found it to be quite interesting because he had no attraction to anything of this world, and yet his mind kept going to this charming young boy. And he was waiting for a long time. When will he come and collect this pot? So he took that milk, and it is said that he felt ecstasy when he took that milk. That night he lay down, and in the night he had a vision, a dream. And in that dream, that same boy came to him and told him, "I'm very, very hot. No one has taken care of me for a long time. I have not received a bath or any food. I have not received any care. I've just been left in the thickets, in the bushes. No one's looking after me in the winter or the summer, and I've been waiting for you to come. Actually, I am Gopal. I am the proprietor of this village, and I am the lifter of Govardhan Hill. So you should collect so many men together, and you should rescue me from this place. I was kept there by my pujaris when the Muslims attacked. So you should rescue me from this place, and then you should do Maha Abhishek. You should do Anukut Maha Mahotsav. You should place me on top of Govardhan Hill and manage beautiful festivals there for me. I've been waiting for you to come and serve me." Madhavendra Puripad, he woke up and immediately he was feeling sad in his heart. What happened? Krishna himself manifested in front of me and I didn't recognize him, and he was feeling sad. But the next moment he was elated, jubilant, because he had been given a direct order from Gopal himself. So immediately he called for so many persons that you should come with your knives and shovels. We have to go and rescue Gopal from the thickets. And it is quite jungly, but he directed me to this exact location. So they all came, they all helped, and they found an amazingly large, beautiful deity of Gopal. I forgot to tell that in his vision, in his darshan, Gopal also told him that I was established here by Vajranath, that is the great grandson of Krishna. And over time, due to the attack of the Muslims and everything, then I was kept in this place. So Madhavendra Puripad, with the help of so many, they found this amazingly massive deity of Gopal, who is now being worshipped in Nathdwar as Sri Nathji by the lineage of Sri Vallabhacharya. So they found this Gopal deity, so big and so beautiful. How was he? Left arm up, standing like this, one hand on his hip, and his eyes looking down. So beautiful. And he was very, very heavy. I was discussing with Sudevi today. According to the calculation of the curse of Pulastya Rishi, Govardhan is shrinking by the width of a sesame seed or a mustard seed every day. So if you assume that's about a millimeter, that's about a foot a year. At the time of Madhavendra Puripad, Govardhan would have been much, much higher, because that's about 500 or 600 years back. Srila Gurudev himself told that I remember when I was first here in Mathura and Vrindavan at Govardhan. Govardhan was so high that it cast a shadow on Mathura when the sun would set. It cast a shadow on Mathura. So that was only 80 years before, or maybe 100 years now. So Sri Madhavendra Puripad was instructed that he should establish Gopal on the mountain and establish the worship of this Giridhari. So they did Maha Abhishek, smeared so many beautiful oils on him, bathed him again and again, and then began serving him so many different kinds of foodstuffs. What had not been done practically since the time of Krishna, when Krishna instructed that they should do Anukut Maha Mahotsav for Govardhan, Sri Madhavendra Puripad continued that festival. And we know that our Srila Gurudev also made very lavish continuation of that festival, Sri Anukut Maha Mahotsava. So Sri Madhavendra Puripad was worshipping this deity of Gopal very lavishly. And every day, different villages would take their turn to worship this Gopal. So Madhavendra Puripad remained there for about 2 years. And then he had another darshan. Gopal came to him in his vision and told him, I'm still feeling very hot. I would like you to go to collect some Malaya Chandan, special Chandan, which is very cooling for me. So I want you to apply that on my body, so you should go. So Madhavendra Puripad established some pujaris in charge, very qualified personalities to look after Gopal. And then he began his pilgrimage, being ordered by the Lord himself. He did not need confirmation because he was already internally connected, transcendentally connected. So he went onward toward Puri. At that time, he stopped in Remuna. And when he stopped in Remuna, he was dancing in ecstasy and chanting in front of the Gopinath deity. It is said that he was fainting in ecstasy. And then when he came back, he was wondering, because he heard from the pujari that, oh, we offer to Gopinath very, very amazing preparation known as Amrita Keli. And nowhere else in the world can it be found. It is the most amazing preparation of all time, and you cannot find it anywhere. So Madhavendra Puripad was thinking, I wonder what it's like. Because if I could just test a little bit of it, then perhaps I could make the same thing for my Gopal. Why not? Then he was feeling bad in his heart, that why have I desired this? It's not right. So he left and he went to the market. The market, he would sit in the market after it is closed and he would chant. So there he was chanting. But Gopinath came to the pujari in a vision, in a dream, and said, hey, wake up. I have stolen something for my devotee Madhavendra Puri. I've hid it underneath my skirt. And by the potency of my own Maya, you did not see it. But you should come, you should collect it, and you should go give it to my devotee Madhavendra Puri. He's in the market. So this pujari woke up, it was afternoon nap, and he went searching. Well, he whose name is Madhavendra Puri, please make yourself known. You are the most fortunate person in all of the 3 worlds. Gopinath Ji himself has given his mercy to you. Madhavendra Puripad, he said, it is I? And he said, you are the most fortunate person in the entire universe. This pujari offered full Dandava Pranam to him and gave him this pot of Kheer, Amrita Keli. Gopinath himself has stolen this for you. Madhavendra Puripad was in complete ecstasy. Gopinath himself has stolen this for me, and he has touched this pot with his own hands. So Madhavendra Puripad, he took this prasad, and he also broke the pot into many pieces and kept it in a sack, and he would take a little piece of that clay pot every day as well, because it's been touched by the hands of the Lord. And then he was thinking immediately, this news is going to get around. And then everyone's going to want to come to me and offer pranam and glorify. I don't want any of this. Most of us will be like, hey, do you know what happened? Gopinath stole the kheer from me. Radhe Radhe Haribol. We would like to pump up our own position. You know, I'm senior to them. Don't you know this? I'm senior. Gopinath himself. Madhavendra Puripad did not want any of this name or fame. He had no desire for it whatsoever. As Raghunath Das Goswami said, Pratishta Asha Svapacharamani Me Hridinatet, that this desire for Pratishta is like a low-class, dog-eating, outcast prostitute. I mean, it's the worst thing he could think of. This is the desire for Pratishta. Madhavendra Puripad had none of it, so immediately he left that place and headed toward Puri, because he had this order from the Lord. When he arrived at Puri, of course, the Lord likes to spread the glories of his devotees far and wide. So already the glories of Madhavendra Puripad had already spread everywhere, but Madhavendra Puripad had to tolerate it. He had to tolerate it because he had not yet completed his service to the Lord. So by great fortune, he was able to connect with the pujaris of Sri Jagannath Dev Puri, and they made all connections for him. So he was able to acquire a large amount of Malaya Chandan and also camphor. And then one Brahmin person was sent to help him carry everything. They gave him all the necessary documents because there were state lines and so many toll booths along the way. So he had all the necessary documents and he was able to easily come back to Kirachora Gopinath. He's now known as Kirachora Gopinath because he stole Kir from Madhavendra Puri. So when he arrived back there, he was dancing in ecstasy in front of Gopinath. And then when he lay down, he had another vision, darshan. And Gopal came to him and said, everything, it was this time, very hot, from this time, everything that you have collected, all of that chandan and camphor, you should grind it where you are and apply it to the body of Gopinath. Gopinath and myself are non-different. And so whatever you place on him, this will be cooling for me. You should have faith in this. So Madhavendra Puripad remained in that place, in that temple, for the duration of the time that it took to grind down all of that chandan and apply it to the body of Gopinath. Now there's not too much time, actually the time has already passed, but Sri Madhavendra Puripad, at the end of his manifest presence in this world, he was weeping and crying in the mood of Srimati Radhika, Ai Dina Dayadranavahe, Maturanatha Kadavalokshase, calling out in such a deep, desperate mood of separation. And he had two primary disciples who were present there at the time. One of them was Sri Ishwar Puripad, who was serving him in every way, especially the most appropriate way to remind him of Krishna, to tell the sweet pastimes of Krishna, and to do kirtan of Krishna as Madhavendra Puripad was preparing to depart from this world. And Sri Ishwar Puripad had such a deep mood of surrender, submission, and seva that he was cleaning Madhavendra Puripad's urine and stool and everything without any difficulty. He was taking care of him and always remembering and speaking the pastimes of Krishna. But there was another disciple named Ramachandra Puri. Ramachandra Puri was saying, what are you doing? Weeping like this and thinking about all of these things. You're about ready to depart from this world. You should remember that you are Brahm. And that Brahm is everything. This means that there's only one thing. So this disciple had not imbibed the teachings of his Gurudev and is now trying to instruct his Gurudev. Sri Madhavendra Puripad said, I don't want to see your face, you should get out from here. If I leave this world with you present, I will attain a lower birth. You should leave here immediately, I do not want to see your face. Because he did not understand the heart of his Guru at all, which means that he did not serve him properly. So, it is said that immediately, no, what is the Nam Aparad, third one? To disobey the orders of the spiritual master. What is the result of Nam Aparad? Immediately, desire for Kanaka Kamani and Pratishta manifest. So what happened to Ramachandra Puri? Immediately material desire started manifesting in his heart. And then as a result of that, Srila Bhaktisaranta Saraswati Prabhupada says, as a result of that, he spent the remainder of his days only criticizing others. This was what happened to him. Now we should understand that this is also Leela because Ramachandra Puri and Krishna Leela is Jatila. So I'll leave it at that. Sri Madhavendra Puripad was apologizing. Please forgive me for being the way I am, but I'm not going to change. Everyone can criticize me, everyone can be against me, all of those knowledgeable persons, everyone who has any position whatsoever can be against me, but I will not waver 1 inch from the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. So Sri Madhavendra Puripad ki jai. And today is the appearance of Sri Radharaman. Sri Radharaman Ju ki jai. Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami had met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was very young in Sri Rangam. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is told in Bhakti Ratnakar and other places, gave him darshan of his pastimes in Navadvip. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami did not actually like to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his form as a sannyasi, because he already had darshan of Navadvip pastimes. So Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami was ordered by Mahaprabhu that you should look after your parents, and then after they leave this world, because they're Vaishnavas, you should serve them. Then you should go on to Vrindavan and be under the guidance of Rupa and Sanatan. So on his way to Vrindavan, Gopal Bhatta Goswami made a little detour and went to the Himalayas, and there at the, what's the name of the river? Gandaki? Gandaki, Gomati. Srila Gurudev said that as he was bathing, there was one shalagram that seemed to be chasing him and did not want to let go of him. He kept coming after him. In places, many different places, we've heard that he kept putting the shalagrams back, but the shalagrams kept coming to him. So he felt, okay, this shalagram wants to be with me. Srila Gurudev said that he would touch him to his heart, touch him to his eyes, and always carry him with him. So he developed so much attachment for his shalagrams. So eventually Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami came to Vrindavan, and it was coming close to the time of Julan, the swing festival. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami was there at, now it's known as Radharaman Khera, but that time it was all Nidhuvan area, very secret area of Nidhuvan. And he was feeling within his heart, oh, if my Thakurji had arms and legs like Govindaji, Madan Mohan and others, then I can dress them so nicely. In some places it is said that he was given cloth and so many ornaments to decorate his shalagram. But what can you do in terms of decorating shalagram? So within his heart, there was some desire that if he had form, then I can decorate him so nicely. So as he was sleeping that night, it is said that he would tie his shalagrams in a cloth to the branch of a tree. Beautiful voice came in his mind and his heart and said, "Oh Gopal, wake up, just see how beautiful I am." So he jumped up and he ran to that cloth and he opened it, and from within that cloth bag he had seen that one of the shalagrams, the Damodar Shila, he was worshipping him as Braj Krishna, that Damodar Shila had burst open, and from that Damodar Shila manifested the most beautiful form of Radha Raman. Srila Gurudev said he had the face of Gopinath, the torso of Govindaji, and the feet of Madan Mohan. Actually, it was Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada when he came here to Vrindavan. He was preaching so strongly that all of the temples of Braj closed their doors to him and his disciples. But there was a big debate that happened at Radharaman temple, and the Goswami in charge at that time said, no, we should allow them in. So because he told, they allowed him in. And when he went in front of Radharaman, he said, in Radharaman, I see our Gauriya Team Thakur, Govinda, Gopinath and Madan Mohan within the form of Sri Radharaman. And Srila Gurudev explained that Srimati Radhika is also there present within him. But just to make to let people know that she's also present, then they put the mukut of Srimati Radhika next to him. So he was so beautiful, so charming. Gopal Bhatta Goswami began to feel immense ecstasy, and tears were flowing from his eyes. Look how his shalagram manifested to him in his very beautiful, sweet form of Radharaman. And then he told Rupa Goswami, Sanatan, and all the others who were also overwhelmed with ecstasy at the manifestation of Sri Radharaman. It is said he is Swayambhu, he manifested himself. But how and why? For his devotee. The Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami has this acclaimed position that his love is so great that by his love the Lord is controlled. And so he manifested his form as Radharaman in reciprocation for the love of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So today is the appearance day of Sri Radharaman. When we are chanting Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, including Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, have mentioned that this refers to Radha Ramana. Radha Ramana iti Ramaha. So Shri Radha Ramana Ju ki jai. Tadiya Avirbha Maha Mahotsava ki jai. And he has manifested from Shila. Yesterday, Bhagavan also manifested from Shila, a stone pillar. And today, Just the next day, he's manifesting from the stone. Shila means stone. So stone Shalagram. From that stone, he manifested as Radharaman. Okay, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupa Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Pati Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Gopinaju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Radharamanu ki jai, Shri Marvendra Puripad ki jai, Shri Srinivas Acharya ki jai, Shri Parameshwari Thakur ki jai. The boat Leela of Radha Krishna ki jai.
Radha Madan.
Radha Madan Mohan. This is Narendra Sarovar, no? In Puri. So there's a flower festival and a boat festival which takes place also today, starting today, no? So this boat festival ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jaya Shachinandan Jai Gaura Hari, Shachinandan Jai Gaura Hari. Jai Shachinandan Jai Gaura Hari, Shachinandan Jai Gaura Hari. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He. Sorry. Shri Radha Gopinath ki jai. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He. Okay. Haribo. See you on Monday. Hare Krishna.